We'll stop making videos about ancient structures when archaeologists stop finding them, and that doesn't seem likely anytime soon. Across the world, researchers continue to uncover massive stone sites that raise serious questions. These structures were built long before modern machines, advanced tools, or engineering software existed. Yet many of them remain standing, perfectly aligned and carefully shaped. Even today, experts debate how they were constructed and why they were placed where they are. And in this video, you'll see some ancient megalithic structures that still challenge modern engineering and continue to surprise those studying them. Number 15. Tiger Cave of Mahabalipuram. Let's approach this one sideways, because its meaning doesn't sit in plain view. Today, Tiger Cave looks like a relaxed seaside stop near Mahabalipuram, but around 12 centuries ago, access wasn't casual at all. Carved into sandstone overlooking the Bay of Bengal, the site was likely reserved for royalty or those close to power. 11 fierce heads ring the cave's entrance. Despite the name, scholars now agree they aren't tigers but yalis, mythical creatures blending lion and tiger traits, believed to possess supernatural strength. One carving even shows the goddess Durga riding a yali. The cave was probably created during the reign of Pallava king Rajasimha in the 8th century, though an earlier ruler remains possible. Rather than a dwelling, the space functioned as a ceremonial portico for proclamations or festivals. Inscriptions remain partially undeciphered. Its rarity lies in silence, royal intent carved into stone without explanation. Number 14. The Betalina Rock Map. Carved directly into alpine stone, the Betalina map stretches across a mountainside in Italy's Camonica Valley. At first glance, it looks abstract. Lines, shapes, clusters, but patience reveals intention. Paths, plots, and settlements emerge, etched over centuries by different hands. Some markings date back nearly 3,000 years. Others were added much later, creating a layered record of territorial memory. There are 109 figures in total, though not all belong to the same moment in time. Rather than art for decoration, this was information made permanent. No written language explains it, no legend survives. Whoever carved it was mapping ownership, movement, or survival itself. That ambiguity is what makes it rare. Few artifacts preserve prehistoric thought so directly, without translation, explanation, or certainty. Only stone remembering what people needed not to forget. Number 13. The Tomb of the Shields and Chairs. Can you think of a burial that feels staged for eternity? This Etruscan tomb near Cerveteri, dating to the 6th century BCE, feels less like a grave and more like a frozen ceremony. Stone chairs line its chambers, paired with painted shields that give the tomb its name. Archaeologists believe terracotta figures of the dead once sat here, arranged as if still participating in ritual life. Frescoes spill across the walls, banquets, dances, sacred gatherings, scenes meant to continue beyond death. Instead of isolating the deceased, the Etruscans recreated society underground. The layout emphasizes movement, presence, and belief in an afterlife that mirrors the living world. Few burial sites communicate cultural value so clearly. This tomb doesn't mourn death, it organizes it. In doing so, it offers one of the clearest windows into Etruscan identity ever uncovered. Number 12. Kundapur Conical Stone Inscription. All right, let's slow this one down because the details matter here. This rare artifact was uncovered in Huyaru village within Kundapur Taluk, and its design alone makes it unlike anything seen before. The stone slab stands nearly 5 feet tall, shaped with a conical top and divided into 2 sections. The upper portion carries an early 14th century inscription written in Kannada, though parts have worn away. Beneath it sits a striking sculptural panel, a Shiva lingam placed on a seated bull, a cow feeding her calf on one side, another bull on the opposite side, and a smaller bull below. Scholars believe it commemorates Alupa King Basava Shankara Soy-Deva, who ruled between 1315 and 1335 from Barakuru. The imagery symbolizes royal authority, religious devotion, and Brahmin patronage. Bull worship remains culturally significant in the region today, making this artifact both historically rare and spiritually continuous. Number 11. The Bank Tyndall Sun Disk. Before anyone realized it mattered, it was just a small piece of gold sitting where it didn't belong. In 2002, archaeologists excavating a Roman-era lead-smelting hearth in Wales uncovered an object thousands of years older than the site itself. Known today as the Bank Tyndall Sun Disk, the artifact dates back over 4,000 years, making it the oldest gold object ever found in Wales. It's made of exceptionally pure gold, containing more than 94% gold content. Two small holes suggest it was once attached to clothing, while concentric lines and dotted circles decorate its edge. No burial was found nearby, which complicates assumptions about its purpose. Similar items discovered in Brittany, France, are often linked to early beaker communities, hinting at long-distance cultural connections. Why it ended up at a metalworking site centuries later remains unknown. Its presence disrupts timelines rather than fitting neatly into them. Number 10. The Rabbit Skull Relief of Palenque. At first glance, this discovery feels unsettling rather than impressive, and that reaction is part of its power. Created in the 8th century within the Mayan city of Palenque, this stucco relief depicts a skull with features resembling a rabbit. The piece was once brightly painted in red and blue mineral pigments, setting it apart from surrounding structures. Scholars believe the hybrid imagery connects to Mayan mythology, where rabbits were associated with scribes, writing, and the lunar goddess Awilix. In several traditions, rabbits symbolized creation and cosmic cycles rather than innocence. The relief may represent Palenque itself or function as a ritual symbol tied to lunar ceremonies. Its temple location suggests spiritual importance, though its exact purpose remains unknown. Despite decades of research, no definitive explanation exists. That uncertainty elevates its rarity. Few artifacts blend animal symbolism, death imagery, and cosmic belief so precisely, leaving modern archaeology with more questions than answers. Number 9. The Ashikaga Shogunate Stone Circle. Can you imagine power expressed without decoration, inscription, or explanation? In Kyoto, archaeologists excavating the former Ashikaga shogunate residence uncovered 8 massive hand-carved stones, each weighing around 10 tons and measuring 9 feet long. Arranged in a circle around what may have been a pond, the stones likely date to the reign of Ashikaga Yoshimasa between 1436 and 1490. Their purpose remains unknown. They bear no carvings, symbols, or practical features. Transporting them would have required enormous labor, suggesting deliberate intimidation or symbolic dominance. Yoshimasa is remembered for triggering the Onin War, plunging Japan into a century of conflict. The stones may have been meant as a warning rather than an ornament. Their silence is intentional. Few artifacts communicate authority so starkly, through effort alone, stripped of artistry, explanation, or mercy. Number 8. The Okinawa Shell Bead. All right, this one asks for patience because its size hides its importance. Discovered inside Sakatari Cave in Okinawa, Japan, this small bead is carved from a tusk shell and deliberately coated in red pigment. Dating back around 23,000 years to the Upper Paleolithic period, it is considered the oldest known example of artificially colored jewelry in Japan. Creating it required more than chance. Someone selected the shell, processed it, and sourced pigment materials whose exact composition remains unknown. There was no writing, no currency, and a limited spoken language at the time. That makes this bead especially intriguing. It may have served as symbolic communication, social identification, or even early trade. Or perhaps it was simply made for beauty. Either way, the effort invested speaks volumes. Few artifacts show personal expression emerging so early in human history, making this bead quietly revolutionary. And now, let's move to number 7. The ancient strigil of Teos. Well, now imagine cleaning yourself without water, soap, or privacy. In ancient Greece, the solution was the strigil. Excavations in the city of Teos uncovered collections of these bronze tools, later displayed in Izmir's Archaeological Museum in 2021. Athletes, warriors, and gladiators coated their bodies in olive oil before exercise, then used strigils to scrape away oil, dirt, sweat, and sometimes blood. The Romans later adopted the same practice. The tool's curved shape explains its name, which translates loosely to cleaning spoon. It wasn't elegant, and it wasn't especially thorough, but it worked well enough. Ownership likely varied by status, though its association with physical training is clear. Strigils weren't luxury items. They were necessities in a world without bathing infrastructure. Few everyday tools offer such a blunt insight into ancient hygiene, physical culture, and the realities of maintaining the body in antiquity. Number 6. The Bornholm Golden Figurines. This one puzzled experts precisely because it didn't fit expectations. Discovered in a Danish field in 2013, 5 small golden figurines were found buried together, all dating to the Iron Age around the 6th century. Nordic art from this period overwhelmingly features male figures, which makes the smallest of the 5 particularly unusual. Barely 3 inches tall, the figurine depicts a nude woman with a long head, prominent jaw, and hands pressed together as if in prayer. No inscriptions explain her meaning. Fertility symbolism has been suggested, but remains speculative. What isn't debated is the craftsmanship. Shaping gold at that scale required time, precision, and intent. The fact that all 5 figurines came from the same location suggests deliberate placement rather than loss. This discovery quietly complicates assumptions about symbolism, belief, and representation in Iron Age Scandinavian culture. Number 5. The Bronze Age duck vessel of Bulgaria. So, this one earns attention without trying. It was discovered in 2020 near the Bulgarian town of Bailey. This pottery duck dates back roughly 3,000 years to the Bronze Age. It's linked to the encrusted pottery culture, a civilization known almost exclusively for its exceptional ceramic skill along the lower Danube. The vessel was found inside a grave, placed within a funerary urn beside cremated remains. Interestingly, the duck itself contained no human remains. Its purpose remains unclear. It may have held personal items, symbolic offerings, or nothing at all. The culture left no written explanations. What stands out is craftsmanship. While many ancient societies produced pottery, few decorated it so elaborately or thoughtfully. This vessel wasn't practical. It was deliberate. Whether symbolic, ritualistic, or commemorative, the duck survives as a quiet example of beauty placed beside death for reasons we may never recover. Number 4. The Arm Reliquary of St. Fiacre. Let's slow down here, because certainty doesn't apply. Housed in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, this 13th century silver arm reliquary is preserved so well that it barely looks medieval. Glass gems and rock crystal decorate the surface, while the hand at the top is raised in a gesture of blessing. An inscription identifies the relic inside as belonging to St. Fiacre. That should settle it, but it doesn't. History records at least 3 saints with that name, all from Ireland. Scholars believe this relic most likely belonged to the 7th century St. Fiacre, a hermit famed for healing miracles. Minor modifications were made in the 15th century, but otherwise the reliquary has remained untouched. Whether the arm truly belonged to the saint, it claims is unknowable. What matters is belief. Few artifacts demonstrate how faith can preserve an object flawlessly while leaving its truth permanently unresolved. Number 3. The Qinglong nested porcelain vase. This artifact wasn't rescued from ruins. It survived domestic chaos. In 1954, a Chinese porcelain vase sold at auction in the UK for just £45 and spent years sitting in an open cupboard inside a house full of cats. It was badly mislabeled. Experts later realized it was an 18th century masterpiece from the Qianlong Emperor's reign. What sets it apart isn't just beauty, but structure. Inside the vase sits a second, smaller vase, perfectly nested, a design technique used only during the 7th and 8th years of that emperor's rule. No comparable examples exist. The precision required borders on obsessive craftsmanship. When the vase returned to auction in July 2020, it sold for nearly $9 million. Its journey wasn't heroic or ceremonial, it was accidental survival. Few artifacts better expose how easily human history can be misunderstood, undervalued, and nearly lost. Number 2. The Hieroglyphic Stairway of Copan. Let's move north through the Americas to one of the most text-heavy monuments ever carved in stone. Located in Copan, Honduras, this massive staircase forms the heart of Structure 26 and contains nearly 2,000 individual Mayan hieroglyphs. Commissioned by ruler Kak Joplaj Chankawil and completed around 755 CE, the stairway rises close to 100 feet tall. Each step contributes to a single historical narrative detailing royal lineage, political events, and ceremonial milestones of the Copan Valley. Although earlier reconstruction efforts rearranged some stones, the bottom 15 steps remain exactly where they were originally placed. This makes them especially valuable to researchers. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1980, the stairway is considered the largest single Mayan text ever created. Few discoveries preserve an entire civilization's political memory in such monumental form. Number 1. The Pyramid of the Niches, El Tajin. This structure doesn't overwhelm with size, it overwhelms with precision. Found in Papantla, Veracruz, the Pyramid of the Niches stands at the center of the ancient city of El Tajin. Built between the 9th and 12th centuries, it rises roughly 60 feet tall across 7 stepped levels. What makes it extraordinary are the 365 small stone niches carved into its facade. Archaeologists believe these correspond to the days of the solar year, suggesting the pyramid functioned as a massive astronomical calendar. El Tajin flourished during the gap between Teotihuacan's decline and the rise of the Aztecs, yet the builders remain unidentified. Most scholars point to ancestors of the modern Totonac people. No inscriptions explain its purpose, leaving interpretation dependent on mathematics and alignment. The pyramid's survival and its perfect numerical symbolism makes it one of the rarest examples of architecture designed to measure time itself. So, this was the last one. Hope you liked the video. Just the next thing we want from you is to press the like and subscribe buttons, which connect you with us. Thanks for watching and being with us.